everybody, my name is Lilo. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a live reaction to this MEKADAGOAT story. This story, not looking at the right spot. This story went viral in my hometown maybe like a couple weeks ago. I had no idea. A friend of mine had called and we were just having a random conversation, and she was like, I know you heard about that MEKADAGOAT story. Well, she didn't say MEKADAGOAT. She said the girl's name. And I said, no, I didn't know anything was going on. What's happening? What's the tea, baby? I need content. What is, what's going on? So she sent me she gave me a little rundown, and then she sent me the video. So I'm going to do a live reaction to it now because it went a little viral. So I'm just going to do a live reaction. I was told a little bit about what the videos were about. Let me just pull up my TikTok real quick. Oop, 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 oop. Hold on. Hold up. I'm not ready. I am not ready. Okay. This does have a content warning on it. Ooh. I'm sweating, child. So let me do a screen recording. Hold on, y'all, because not one of my ex-friends sent me a message. Hold on. I'm not even friends with this. How do you get to your messages on TikTok? Am I the only person that don't know how to find my messages on TikTok? Oh, it say she sent it 4/29. I was gonna say January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, yeah, she sent that in April. All right, never mind. False alarm. I about to say not people trying to creep back in. Okay, let me go to this story.
Come with me to Walmart. Discover to get a new.
I think I'm gonna do a screen recording because I'm gonna have the video played on here. Let's just play it.
Hey, my TikTok family. I'm here to share my childhood trauma with y'all because I feel like my childhood trauma is still affecting my life today. So I'm here to share my story. My story is the truth and nothing but the truth. And whoever don't believe me, that's okay because I'm still here to tell my story. When I was a little girl, my mama was never there for me. She used to leave us with mans when I was about 5, 6, and 7. And then
Okay, I just wanted to pause really quick. Whew, that's a lot already. What do you mean she left you with men when you were 5, 6, and 7? That's like, hope maybe she'll elaborate, but my mind is just going like, what do you mean she left you with men when you were 5, 6, and 7? Was it like family members? Was it like random men? Like, oh, we gonna keep watching.
I became of age to start babysitting myself and my siblings.
Did she say she was the oldest? Hold on. Did she say she was the oldest?
That's okay.
Wait, let's start it over.
Hey, my TikTok family. I'm here to share my childhood trauma with y'all because I feel like my childhood trauma is still affecting my life today. So I'm here to share my story. My story is the truth and nothing but the truth. And whoever don't believe me, that's okay because I'm still here to tell my story.
Ooh, already you could tell that this is hard for her. Like you could just hear it in her voice. I don't know how this girl sounds, but she sounds like she about to start crying already. But I was running it back to see if she was the oldest of her siblings. I don't know if she said that or not. I need some tissue because it's hot. It's hot. One thing about doing these YouTube videos, y'all don't like to hear nothing in the background. That's my dog walking around. Listen, she lives here. I can't do nothing about that. But her and these little tippy taps. She needs her nails cut. But yeah, so I can't have no fan or nothing, child. I think I am gonna have my fan though, because it's hot. And my upper lip be sweating. But okay.
When I was a little girl, my mama was never there for me. She used to leave us with mans when I was about 5, 6, and 7. And then I became of age to start babysitting myself and my siblings. I was touched when I was a little girl by a grown man. He rubbed on my below area. I was very afraid, so I just laid in the bed and let it happen.
Oh, oh. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
I knew what he was doing was wrong. I wanted to get up, but I was so afraid.
I can relate to that so much. Oh my gosh, I can relate to that so much. Knowing that what somebody is doing to you is wrong, but you're so scared. Like, I remember, because I was touched as a child too. I remember going to school and like learning about they had like the little teddy bears, and then they had like the swimsuit areas, and then like nobody is supposed to touch you on your swimsuit areas, all this and that. But it's something when you are actually in that moment, like, and it's just so many factors, that play into that. So there's just, I'll give more commentary at the end of this, but I can sympathize and relate to that. Yeah, because in that moment, like, you're not thinking about like no areas, and oh, you're supposed to do this and try to go find this person and that person. It's a lot that goes into that. Wow.
So I was stuck, and I just laid there, and I just let it happen. Felt like I felt like I couldn't move. My mom was gone. She wasn't there. She wasn't there. When my mom got back, me and my sister told her what he did to me, even though I was a little bit afraid to tell her because I thought that she would beat me. When I told her, she told me I was a hot, fast bitch, and if
As a mom, as a mom, and I don't have kids. I have foster kids, but I'm very, very protective over children. But as a mom, how is your child coming to you telling you that somebody touched them, and your first response is to blame them? And then it's a grown man at that? Come on. Come on, a baby. And if your child is doing something to entice a grown man, then there's a deeper problem there. There is a deeper issue that you need to figure out what's going on, honey. Oh, that is awful. That is awful.
I told anybody, she would beat me. The older I got, the more I started babysitting, cleaning her house and cooking for the kids, washing me and my.
I'm assuming that she may be the oldest. And that's another thing I cannot stand to see parents do, is they have one kid, and then they have multiple kids after, and then they make the oldest, don't be a girl, don't be a girl, but then they make all of the kids after. It's like they're your kids. Like, that's all. How you sitting up there creating kids and then having other kids taking care of them? Like, it's not fair. It's not fair.
My siblings close.
And I see that a lot. I do see that a lot too. Especially like from single parents. That's why I preach so much. Stop having a baby with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that you come across. Okay, kids deserve healthy two-parent households. This is why this happens, because people, they have kids with men, and then the men leave, but it's like, oh, I got my daughter here, she's old enough, so I got to go to work, or I got to do whatever I got to do, so you watch the kids. And it's not always um the parent is not always just neglectful or anything. Sometimes they really truly do have to go to work, and they don't have anybody else to watch them. Like me, I was touched because my mom had to go to work. I was raised with my dad. My dad was my parents were married, but my dad was in and out of jail. So my mom was still like a single parent. She was real still, I can't even get it out. My mom was still considered a single parent. So I had to go to family members' houses, and that's how it happened to me. Because my mom wasn't there. She wasn't around, and my dad wasn't there. So that is a lot how that happens. You a single parent, you watching this, take heed, please. And let me tell you something else. The predators, they go after certain kids. They, like me, I was an only child. And I look at like my cousins and everything, and I always question, like, why me? Like, why was it me? And predators, they go after, they knew that my dad wasn't around. My mom was always at work, and I was the only child. So perfect victim. Perfect victim. Y'all gotta take heed and watch stuff like that.
Goes out with.
I'ma be right back. We had to re up on the Fenty, y'all. We back though.
My hands on my knees, literally, in a bathtub, just to make sure me and my siblings had clean clothes to wear. Only time we had food is if the link came on or I go stealing. I used to steal from Family Dollars and put food in my pants just to make sure me and my brothers and sisters have something to eat. My mom was always gone party.
And listening to this, you would think that she was a single parent. You would think that she was a single parent. Like, I've heard this story before, but I've heard it from a grown woman telling the story. Like, I had to do whatever I had to do to for my kids to survive. What's the song? How that song go? Crying on the floor because he's hungry, and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money, and his dad is gone. I ain't trying to make jokes. I promise I ain't trying to make jokes, but I'm just trying to drive home. Like, you listening to this girl talk, like, you would think that this was a grown woman trying to care for her kids, and this is a child. Like, she hadn't said how old she was at this point, but this is a child. This is like, oh my God, it's so awful.
Yeah, from when I was little.
But I want to say I'm so proud of her for speaking her truth and speaking out on this, because this is a huge issue in the Black community. And I'm going to be doing a separate video about Black moms and their disdain for their daughters, the daughters that they birth don't understand it at all. Mika the Goat is not alone in this at all, though, but I do really big her up for speaking her truth and speaking out about this, because this is a huge problem in the Black community. People being molested and being swept under the rugs, moms not liking their daughters and being swept under the rugs, moms making the oldest child the second parent. In her case, she sounded like she was the only parent. But yeah, a shout out to her for speaking her truth and bringing this to the light. It does need to be talked about.
Even as when I got older, she would be gone days and nights, sometimes even a whole week. My grandma used to gather us up. We used to all go find my mom, but we could never find her. I remember one time I did find my mom. She was hiding upstairs in the closet while everybody else was downstairs partying, telling me to be quiet and don't tell my grandma that she was up there and that she'd be home later. I was crying and begging my mama to come, telling my mama that we was hungry and that we miss her and that I want her to come home. Even though I was upset that my mama didn't come home, I was still happy to see my mama. I could never go outside and play with.
Ooh, that is, could you imagine your mom missing? You can't find her. That's scary in itself. And then you find her, and the whole time she was like purposely hiding. And then her saying that, even her mom putting her all, through all of that, and she was still happy to see her. That's real too. I'm a foster parent, and I've had kids come from a bevy of different of awful, horrible situations. And no matter what their parents put them through, they still love their parents. They still want to be with their parents. They don't want to be with strangers. And I don't blame them. And I try to get people to understand when I talk to like other foster parents, like, you can't take that personal. Like, we only get one mom, we only get one dad. If your one mom is a bad mom, she a bad mom, but that's the only mom that you have. So it's like, even though you grew up in dysfunction and you grew up being abused by your mom or your dad, that's all you know, and that's what you know. That's your normal. So I always try to get people, when I talk to other foster parents, to not take that personal. Oh, I can tell so many stories, which I wouldn't, because it's not my story to tell. But I could just tell so many stories of kids that have come from the most awful of situations, and you'd be like, why would you, looking on the outside, and you're like, why would you want to go back to that? Or, you're in foster care now, you're in a safe home now. Like, why would you want to go back, or why would they send the kids back there? And it's because that's their family. That's who they want to be with. They don't want to be with a stranger. They want to be with their mom and their dad or whoever, their family members. So I definitely I get that. And then, not to think about or not to bring up Stockholm syndrome, like that plays a major role in stuff like this as well.
My friends because I always had to babysit and be in the house with my siblings. Take care of them and make sure that the whole house is clean or I'll get beat by my mama if she come home. and the house ain't clean. Sometimes my mom will let me sit on the porch if she have a hangover and she at home. I always felt like my mom hated me. She let her boyfriend put me and my younger siblings in a room with the door closed, with a cord tied on to the door so that me and my siblings couldn't get out. I was crying and screaming for my mom.
This video is going by so fast, but oh my God, it's like trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. Have you gotten any help for this, mamas? Oh my gosh. It's like it is, and she's just like detailing it, and it's just like going. And this video has a lot of jump cuts, but this is a lot to process. Oh my goodness. Your mom's boyfriend locked y'all in the door or locked y'all in the room, and then he gonna tie a cord. What do you get off? First of all, them not even your kids. What do you get off locking kids in a room for? What? And they own house? Like, can you go? Bye? What? That is crazy. And then you're a child, you're helpless, you can't do anything. The one person that's supposed to protect you, I'm gonna say the two people, because this is about her mom. She hasn't said anything about her dad. Um, but oh, this is y'all, this is a lot.
And she told me she can't help us because we too bad. We was in that room all.
I wonder why they bad. Lady, I wonder why your kids is bad. Maybe it's all the trauma that you inflicted on them.
Day, sun up till sun down. I always felt scared and nervous around my mom, so I always.
I'm too claustrophobic for that. Being in a room all and you can't leave and you're not a prisoner? Are you serious? I just can't even wrap my head around that. Ain't no bathroom in the room probably. Ain't no food in there. How you going to take somebody else's kids and lock them in a room and tie? That is a lot. And like I said, she just like flowing through this stuff. Like, baby, this is a lot. Hold on. I gotta process this. Like, I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, but I literally can't. Like, because it's like you haven't even got help from the last traumas, you know? And this is why I do what I do. People don't understand, like, childhoods are so pivotal and important. That's why I love, love, love being a foster parent because I know that as an adult, I make such a big impact on these children's lives. Like your childhood sets you up for your adulthood. It's people still well into their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, still moving from like they're still moving, or I'm gonna say they're still in their trauma move them. They still haven't gotten help from things that happened to them when they were a child. Like that is not okay. And it's like, and again, I have not watched this video, so I don't know if this girl has gotten any help or like any therapy or anything, but it's like you get over one trauma and you really don't get over it. It's really just more days have passed and it goes further and further in the back of your mind. But what you don't know is this it's still controlling your everyday thoughts. That's why you got random attitudes, and we'll get into that later. But it's so pivotal. Childhoods are so pivotal, and I don't think people understand how pivotal they are. Like I already spoke that in the beginning of this video, I was touched as a child. Aside from that, I had a beautiful childhood. Oh my gosh, like I had the best childhood. Um and so much I be wanting to go back. Like I really be wanting to go back to be a kid. And it ain't got nothing to do with not wanting to pay bills or anything. It's just I loved my child. Okay, first of all, I was born in the 90s. I was born in 96. So if you know, you know, that was just the time to be born anyway. But yeah, I absolutely love my childhood. But I did notice things in my childhood that it took me a long time to get over. Like, and I had to realize, like, oh, you behave this way because of something that happened when you were little. And like, you got to really do the work. You got to really do the self work on yourself to bring those things to the forefront. But this is a lot. This is a lot. And she ain't said that she got any help from like the last stuff that happened. And it's just like it's like it's a trauma salad. You know what I mean? It's just like you start with this and then we're just gonna keep keep adding trauma and trauma and trauma and trauma and trauma. I don't even want to call it a salad. This is a dump cake because salads are light, okay? This is the type of trauma that's going to weigh you down. Whew. Hold on, y'all. I need to get my... Ooh, I can't open it. It's too hot in this little area. Okay. Let's continue because I do got to be out of here in about 15 minutes. So, okay, I'm going to try to not stop it. I just got so many thoughts about this. Oh my goodness.
Found something for myself to do so I can stay out her way. And that was to braid my siblings' hair or to do hair because I started doing hair at a very young age. The older I got, the more I started doing all my siblings' hair. The older I got, the more I started doing my siblings' hair. Except for my oldest brother who was always gone. The older I got, the more I started to get beat and put into slavery by my mom. I started cooking more. I started taking care of my siblings more. I started being alone in the house more with just me and my siblings. Started cleaning more and started to learn more about how to survive the struggle that we was in. But my mama wasn't there. I always seen my mom bring different men in and out the house. I was always awake to see. It was times.
That's another thing. She exposing so much in this video. That's another thing. Bringing all of these different type of men and women around your kids. You got to stop that. That's why I wish that we could do more to not get to this point. I wish we could do more for the kids to have them realize that, first of all, you don't have to have a baby. Oop. You don't need to have a baby by every man that you meet. Come on, y'all. I thought I had my phone on silent. Oh, I look cute. Let me take a screenshot. What I got on? Hold on. See, only the bottom matters. The top don't. I mean, only the top matters. The bottom don't. I look cute though. Now I'm gonna have to stop this so I can go back and remember what my thought was. Oh yeah, bringing every Tom, Dick, and Harry around your kids. We gotta stop that too. But oh yeah, that's what I was saying. We gotta get. I want to get to the point where I'm mentoring little girls and boys about the importance of covenants, the importance of saving yourself, not even necessarily saving yourself from marriage, because I know with the times we just getting further and further away from God's plan. I'm very Christian. I'm saving myself for marriage. I don't plan on having kids with nobody that's not my husband, but I know that that's not for everybody, and I know that things happen. And I don't judge. I don't judge. I just wish that we could get to the point where we have the mentality of just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Our lights was off, and I was still there babysitting while my mama was out partying. Had to steal candles and use candles for light, not having hot water. So I had to boil hot water to make sure that I had water to clean and water for me and my siblings to bathe with. Even the time when our water got cut off, I would get a lot of jugs and I would take them down the street to one of our neighbors' house and she would let us fill them up. My brother had got fourth degree burns for burning himself up on a stove because we didn't have heat and he was trying to get heat. So that's what I used to heat up the house. And he sat on.
Wait, hold on. I think I just disassociated, y'all. Hold on. Did she say her brother got fourth-degree burn? A fourth degree? Oh, wait, hold on. Did she say that he got a fourth-degree burn? I should be screen recording this so it'll be easier to. Hold on, I'm coming.
A different man in and out the house. I was always awake to see. It was times our lights was off and I was still there babysitting while my mama was out partying. Had to steal candles and use candles for light, not having hot water. So I had to boil hot water to make sure that I had water to clean and water for me and my siblings to bathe with. Even the time when our water got cut off, I would get a lot of jugs and I would take them down the street to one of our.
I want to say a lot of that she talking about I can relate to. Just showing me that I grew up in the struggle. I didn't know I grew up in the struggle, but I can relate to washing clothes out in the tub, having to wring them out, take them outside to dry them. boiling water when was our water ever off? So my water never got cut off at home, but I do remember, like I said, I was at my aunt's house a lot. My auntie Karen, shout out to my auntie Karen, love her to pieces. I was at her house a lot, and I do. I'm about to expose her. Oh my god! Now I'm gonna have to cut out her name in this, but I had name drop my auntie who house I was at all the time just because I love her so much, but I don't want to expose her for her water being cut off. But I do remember several times going to her house and us having to heat up the water in the microwave. And me, I love to take baths. I was a bath baby. I love to take baths. So yeah, I would be back and forth. She used to always say something to me like, you taking a bath, you ain't swimming. I love that lady. But I can relate a lot to this, but why I'm bringing up my own childhood and talking about and saying that I relate to this is because when I went through this stuff, it was us going through it like as a family unit. You know what I mean? Like it was the adults like, okay, this is what you need to do, and we did it. We didn't think that it was crazy. It was not anything, out of the ordinary because everybody else was doing it. But for her, it's like she was a child, so it's like she had to figure out, like, okay, I know that we need clean clothes, so let me figure out how to get some hot water so that we can have clean clothes. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, in my case, it was the adults doing all the thinking, but here in this case, you got a child doing all the thinking, and that's just a kid. Like, that's a lot on a child. And man, gotta be a well-rounded kid at this because I mean, you didn't even get to be a kid. Like I can't even call her a kid. She didn't even get to be a kid. She was born to be a third parent, it sounds like. And that is just awful. And I do want to say this is her side of the story. We do not know her mom's side of the story. So all of my commentary and my opinion is coming from me watching this video. Only I do not know these people. I know of them. I do not know them. I do not know if this story is true, if it's fake, what um but she put this out, and so I can only give my opinion to what she's saying, and it's pretty awful. It's pretty awful.
Our neighbor's house, but she won't let us fill them up. My brother had got fourth degree burns for burning himself up on a stove.
So you got 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, fourth degree. Fourth degree is like you got your skin, like your bone is exposed. That's serious. That's like you got to get in a helicopter ride to be like airlifted somewhere. That is very serious. um I'm trying to remember when I had got burned by something, and it was not. Oh, I had got burned by steam. If you ever been burned by steam, and I believe that was a second-degree burn, so it broke skin, and that took about 3 months for me to recover. It was on my chest. I don't got that bruise anymore. But it took about 3 months for me to heal. So, and that was only a second-degree burn. I cannot imagine fourth degree, and then it's boiling water. Whew. And all of this could have been avoided if mommy was home. Mommy was doing it, maybe.
Because we didn't have heat, and he was trying to get heat. So that's what I used to heat up the house. And he sat on the stove because he was so cold, and it,
Oh, he sat on it.
caught him on fire.
Oh, okay. I misspoke. I assumed that he got burned with water. So she said he sat on the stove because he was trying to warm up. Bro, I'm about to cry. Bro, that's about to bring me to tears. Like, not he sat on the stove just because he was trying to get warm. And that's why I'm saying these is kids trying to, make these decisions. Like, no, there needs to be adults around, because an adult around, they're going to tell you, all right, I'm going to open this oven on, I'm going to turn it on 450. Don't be in this kitchen. Okay. I'm about to heat up this house. Don't go around that kitchen. But you got babies, kids trying to figure it out. And this is what happens. This is what happens.
She didn't take him to the hospital, so my grandma had to take him to the hospital.
Okay, he went.
He went. DCFS. It was wondering where my mama was. He was burnt from his butt to his back. The doctor sent my brother home with some cream, and my mama refused to put it on his back the next morning before he go to school, so I had to do it. and I also had to clean his back. She tried to make him go to school knowing that he wasn't supposed to go to school like that. She told him to lie and go to school and say that he can't sit down because he's sore. I was fed up, so I went to school and told the school what was really going on with my brother. Sometimes when we didn't have food, we'd eat sugar bread and we'd drink sugar water just to get some.
Okay, I did that too, but I only did that because I was a fat ass. I definitely ate sugar bread, sugar water, but that's because I was a fat ass, not because I had to.
Sweetness unless I go steal. But the people at the store started catching on to me. So it was very, very hard for me to steal. My mama will literally eat restaurant while we eat Vienna sausages and chips and a juice or bologna sandwiches while she sit in our face and eat restaurant. I was never getting full off that shit. And that's why when everybody go to sleep at night, I used to steal food. And I throw it out my window to not leave the evidence behind because I didn't want to get beat. I got tired of my mama not being there because
That is awful. That reminds me of the story of Callista Springer. I don't know if anybody knows the story of Callista Springer, but her parents would tie her up to the bed at night. They were very abusive. It was, I believe, it was her dad and her stepmom. But oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about this story. But the girl was so scared to for them to see her eat. I remember this was the story right before she had passed away too. But a neighbor had gave her an apple and she was so scared to throw the apple core away. She swallowed the apple core, y'all. She swallowed the apple core just because she was that terrified that they would find the paraphernalia somewhere or they would like see that she threw it down. That is awful. Oh God, it's awful. I know I keep saying it's awful is because I really don't have any other words to say. Um, but it's just I don't see how you can have a child. This is a child that you birthed and treat them this way. Like this child wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. You know what I mean? So it's just I don't understand it. I don't get it.
she got a 1 year old baby boy. He was literally just 1 year old. He would run out of diapers, so I would have to use rubber bands and a plastic bag to make a diaper for my little brother. Sometimes he'd run out of food, and I literally had to feed him whole food, or sometimes just plain water. He would always cry, cry, cry. Even when my mama was at home, that little boy was in my bed sleeping with me every night crying.
And then, so she old enough to be getting caught stealing from the store. She old enough to know, like, oh, I need to do this, this, and that, in order to survive. And then she's taking care of a baby. So that means your mom or her mom is still out here having kids and not even caring for the ones that she got. Like, oh, I would have been pissed. Oh, I would have been pissed. How you still out here making babies and you ain't caring for the ones that's here? Can we get grown up out of your clutches first before you put any more responsibility on me, please?
I always had to put him to sleep. Before I go to sleep every night, I used to pray that my mama would be home in the morning, but when I wake up, she was never there. So then I was just started getting the kids ready for school. Sometimes I couldn't go to school because I.
That's another thing. That's another thing because she said that she would pray at night for her mom to be there in the morning. And that's something to make you lose your faith in God. And that's another thing. Mama should have been there and say, okay, well, first of all, honey, God does not work like that. But
Had to make sure that my siblings was going to school, like my mama said. And my bus was the first bus to come in the morning time. So after I sent my brothers and sisters to school, I didn't have a ride to get to school anyway.
and then imagine going through all that, having that type of home life, and then having to go to school, being expected to stay up, being expected to do your work, being expected to socialize. You with other kids, so you're there with natural bullies. You know, I wonder what type of kid she was. I really wonder what type of kid she was in school.
Even if I did get a chance to go to school, I couldn't go to school still because I would have to be home if my brothers and sisters have to come home, or get off their bus and I'm not there, then I get beat. My truancy officer used to come knocking at the door. And as bad as I wanted to open the door and go to school, I just knew that I couldn't because I got to be here and wait for them to get home.
I had a foster kid like that before too. Oh, I didn't know that she was doing it. Okay. Um, See, now I just got distracted. But I had a foster kid too that oh my gosh, that girl fought to go to school, okay? And she hated it. You know, you always want what you never can get. Um and yeah, she is same thing with my foster daughter. Like she took care of her younger sibling so she couldn't go to school. And she fought. She wanted to be in school so bad. She fought to go to school.
While they're at school, I just clean the house. My mama literally beat me bad. She pulls my hair out my head. She stomped me with her feet. She punched me. She threw me to the ground. She was beating me like I was some type of grown woman that she didn't know off the streets. Well, literally even spit on me and tell me how much she hate me. I got tired of hearing my mama say, I can't wait till y'all go to DCFS. So I started to learn what DCFS was. And I started trying to reach out to them through my school. I started telling them everything that was going on in my household and that's been going on since I was a little girl. They started an investigation. And as soon as they come out and when they leave, my mama will beat me up because she know that I was the one reporting her. So then I
Look at her. She exposed DCFS too. She ain't lied. How you going through all that neglect and stuff, and they leave? How y'all just gonna leave her? Leave them there. But even as a foster parent, I'm not about to sit up here and act like DCFS foster care is just like this great, beautiful thing. Absolutely not. I know nothing makes me more frustrated than the foster parents that are abusive is because it's like these kids are taken from abusive they come from abusive situations and then you put them in one.
I started to get afraid to run my mouth about certain things that still needed to be
I just
told.
accidentally double tapped the
My life
video.
started to get worse.
I just accidentally double tapped it and I just unliked it. So if you see this video, you see my name pop up and it left. That was me. That was an accident.
I started to feel depressed,
I bet.
alone, and unwanted. I didn't really feel alive. So then I started back telling more. We got taken away, and then my mom got us back after a year. She continued the same stuff. It started to be a repeat again. Y'all just will never understand. I don't care. Who don't want to hear my story? Who don't want to believe my story? But I'm going to continue to tell my story.
And you should.
I want to live in my truth. I want to live in my truth. Nobody should be able to not live in their truth. Nobody should be afraid to live in their truth. I don't care who go against me. I'm going to continue to tell my story. I don't care. It's eating me up and it's been eating me up. Hey,
Whew, okay, that was the end of that. That was the end of that. That was a lot. Um, Again, I want to big her up for telling her story, for telling her truth. When I was told about this, I was told 2 weeks like this. She uploaded this video 7/4. Oh, and I was just told about this yesterday. And today is September 3rd, I believe. Oh, it's Beyonce's birthday tomorrow. It's the Queen's birthday. Um, so I'm a month late to this, but apparently, like I said, this went viral in my hometown. And the person that told me about it said that like a lot of her family members said that she was lying. Um and the person that told me about it said that she absolutely is not lying about any of this happening to her. Okay. As I was saying, your story is yours. Nobody can tell you that you cannot tell your story because it's yours. It's your story. If they feel some type of way, okay, tell your story then. Tell yours, but you can't sit up here and tell me that I cannot tell mine because it happened to me. And that's what I never understand. It be the people that put the trauma on you that try to say like, "Oh, why are you exposing this or why you say this?" And then when it do get exposed, all of a sudden it didn't happen. And that is nothing that makes it worse than when somebody lies about it. It's like I had to go through this. I'm still dealing with the repercussions of what you put me through today, and you're gonna sit up here and act like it didn't happen. Like the least you could have done is acknowledge what you did to me. The least you could have done was not traumatize me. But if you was gonna sit up there and traumatize me, now I'm trying to tell my story. The least you can do is acknowledge what you did to me. I mean, it's not like her mom would get in trouble for any of the things that she did when she was young. Like, I mean, it's over. It happened, and she probably still wants a relationship with her mom. It's just because she's exposing this does not mean that she still doesn't want a relationship with her mom. She just wants a good mom. Like, she's sitting up here saying, I don't understand why you don't like me, why you don't love me. And that's got to be hard. Like, that's got to be so hard. Imagine trying to navigate through that, and you literally did not do anything. You were just born. You literally were just born. Like, whew, that's hard. And I've heard this story several times through the mouths of different people. This is a huge issue in the Black community, and we got to do something about it, y'all. We need to talk about it. We need to do something about it. We need to save the next generation before they grow up the same way. I think this girl has kids, so she went from not having a childhood, taking care of her siblings, and then now she's a parent. Like, I mean, the girl just has not even been able to live her life for her. Like, that's just awful. So I just want to say, I wish you the best, Mika the Goat. Even if your mom does not give you the closure that you need, you be that mom that you didn't get, and I don't doubt that you're not. But you be that mom that you didn't get. Never be ashamed or afraid to tell your story, your truth, because it's yours. And of course, those people are gonna be, and the ones that put you through it are gonna be the ones that feel some type of way because they were exposed for it. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's natural. And then you got those other people that are like, oh, they wouldn't do that. They didn't do that. And it's like, but they did it to me. So you can't listen to them because it literally did not happen to them. Um, y'all were so quiet this whole video. Um, oh, I didn't realize I was still screen recording. But yeah, I want to see this girl do good. I want to see her make some of herself. I don't know. Let me go scroll on her TikTok real quick. So I've been using. I know she like, why does she keep going on my page? Content. Um, I can't find her page now. It ain't pulling up. But I really do hope that this girl makes some of herself. Um, that she gets some help for her trauma, because that is a lot, and her siblings. Hopefully, they get some help as well, and she's still not taking care of them. Um, but yeah, that's it for this video. I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Tell a little Black girl that she's beautiful, and bye.